Whether you're distro hopping for a good reason or not, or you're just reinstalling your current distro, one of the things that you have to do usually is take an ISO from a website somewhere or a torrent or whatever it is and put that on a USB key of some sort. And there are various tools to do this. The one that I've been using for years is called DD, and it's called Disk Destroyer for a reason. I'm always nervous every time I use it. It's just a plain fact that one day that thing will bite me in the ass and I'll accidentally overwrite all of my family photos or something, and I will be devastated and wish that I had backed those things up. I did back those things up, but still, you kind of get the idea. If you use DD, you might have some issues with a typo or something somewhere along the line, and it could lead to disaster. Or maybe you're someone else who likes to use something like thelinuxcast, which is a tool that a lot of people use, or maybe you're on Windows and you want to use something like Rufus. Well, there are a lot of tools that allow you to take an ISO from one place and put it on a USB key in order to, actually make a bootable live image. Today I'm going to talk about another one, and this one's actually cool. Now, it is a front for DD, so just know that right out of the box. But there are a lot of safeguards in place with the tool that we're going to be talking about today that means it's a lot easier for noobs to use and a lot harder for even experienced users to make mistakes when it comes to selecting disks and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to be taking a look at an application called Caligula. Now, this is a terminal application, so if you're scared of the command line or you're not interested in the command line, this one's probably not for you. But even for those of you who aren't command line heroes, this tool is easy enough for basically anybody to use. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. But before we do, if you leave a thumbs up on this video, I'd really appreciate it. It'd really help the channel. So let's go ahead and take a look at my system here. And I am in my ISOs directory, and I have some ISOs here. And let's say I wanted to take the NixOS graphical ISO and put that on the USB key I have plugged in here in my hub beside me. What do? Normally, if I wanted to use DD, I'd do DD, or I'd have to do sudo dd input file equals NixOS, and then do output file equals /dev/sdf or something like that, and then do status equals progress, and then hit enter. I don't want to do that. Instead, what I want to do is use Caligula. Now, Caligula is an application by IFD3F, and basically what this is a TUI front end for DD. Now, it is written in Rust and Nix. Now, that may turn some people off. You don't have to be using Nix to use this, but it is going to require some Nix dependencies. So just know when you go to download this thing, you're going to see it download some Python, some Nix, and some Rust tooling. So in order to actually install this, you can get it through the Arch repositories, you can build it from source, you can install it through Nix. You can also use Cargo to do it. There's full instructions here right on their GitHub, which I'll link in the video description. But it's really pretty simple. On NixOS, I can't really tell you about the dependencies because I have a Nix package for it and it doesn't really show that kind of thing. But really, it's fine. So let's clear out of this and we'll do the ls thing again. So let's say instead of using that dd command I just showed you, I wanted to use Caligula. So I would use, and I've installed it, so I have Caligula like so, and let's say I wanted to burn the NixOS one, and they used the word burn, so I use burn, and then I just give it the ISO I want to burn to the disk. So I'm going to do the NixOS one, and I hit enter. It's going to ask me the input file NixOS blah blah blah, detected compression format, no compression. Is this okay? Press yes. Now sometimes here you'll say that there is a compression, in which case there'll be a few extra steps, but in this case I'm just going to hit yes. And then it's going to ask me what the file's hash is. Now, one neat thing about this tool is it allows you to verify the checksum of the ISO that you downloaded. Now, you don't have to do this. You just hit escape to skip, and then it will carry on with burning the image. But let's say you have the hash, which I'm going to go find right now, and I'll show you how to do this. So on NixOS, for example, the hash is located right here next to the download button. So I'm going to do this, and it's going to show me this. Now, I need just this front number. You don't need the name of the ISO. You just need this. Every distro, if they're on the up and up, will provide this somewhere. And you just need this, and then you need to go back to your terminal, and you need to copy that in. So Control-Shift-V to copy that in, hit Enter, and it's going to verify the checksum, okay? It's going to ask you then to select a target disk. So for me, I only have one removable drive. It's only going to show you removable devices. In my case, it's the Data Traveler 2.0, and you can check the size there, and it's going to tell you that it is removable. So it's going to do everything in its power to choose a disk that it thinks you're going to use. If you have multiple ones, it will list all of them. I only have one installed right now, but you can also, just to make sure that this is the right one, open up another terminal and do lsblk, and that will show you that the one that it's talking about is this, and I can see that it's the right size. So you can see that these things match up quite well, although it's using a different size. This is because it's counting the entire thing and not just the top partition. So now that we're back over here, we're going to hit enter on the one. So if we wanted to refresh devices, we could do that, like if ours isn't there, or we hadn't plugged it in when we started the program, we could plug this in, hit refresh devices, and then it should show up with whatever we just plugged in. So I'm going to go back up to this one, I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to confirm everything that we just chose, and we're going to hit yes or Y and hit enter. And then it's going to tell you that it needs permissions to actually write this. You're going to hit yes again, and you're going to enter your sudo password. And then it's going to do the thing. So this right here is where it starts doing the DD thing. So it's using DD in the background. So if you've ever used DD before, you'll know that it is pretty slow. And it can take up to like 20 minutes depending on the size of the ISO. So in this case, it's telling us it's going to take around 650 seconds to go. This actually changes depending on the speed of the write. So sometimes it will go faster, sometimes it will go slower. You can't really estimate how long it will take. I did an OpenSUSE ISO with my first try with Caligula, and it took around 1500 seconds to write and verify the write. That's quite some time, but it was still fine, and I expected that given that it uses DD, and like I said, DD is slow. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit in editing. You'll see a very short time lapse of this doing its thing, and then I'll come back and wrap this thing up. So once it's done, it will verify the write. So you can see the bar there along the top. It will actually show you the progress as it goes. It will do that for burning as well. I didn't mention that. This UI is just mostly for prettiness, but along the top it will tell you how far it got to go in terms of gigabytes for both burning and verifying. Along the bottom there, you'll see where it says ETA verify. That, like I said, gives you a idea of how long this is going to be. The burn time took around 5 to 7 minutes or so. I didn't actually time that out, but overall it was just about as quick as you expect DD to be. So it's not any different. There's no difference there between the times, except for this does a verification at the end. I don't know that DD does. I'll speed this up just a little bit, and then I'll show you the help menu, and then we can wrap this up. Okay, once it's done, it'll actually tell you that it's done and that you can press Q to quit, and it will ask if you're sure you want to quit. It's good that it warns you, because you can press Q during any part of the process. And if you were to obviously quit accidentally during the write or during the verification, it's going to cause problems. Now, I don't know if it'll actually error out if you quit during the verification, but for sure during the write, if you quit in the middle of it, you're not going to end up with anything useful there at the end. So I'm glad that it asks for confirmation. So we'll hit Q again. Now, just a few things before we wrap up. If you go to the help menu, you can see that there are some help things here. The weird thing about all of this is that the help menu here that they give you is pretty light on options. And if you go to the website, it shows more options. So those options do exist. They're just, for whatever reason, not listed here. I'm not sure why that is. So if you want the full help menu, you do have to go to the website. There also doesn't appear to be a man page. So if we do man Caligula, like so, there's no actual man page. So why the full help menu is not actually there? Maybe it's just something, a quirk with NixOS. I'm not sure. But that's still something that you should pay attention to. So if you want more options, there are some available to you. You can choose where you want the file written to. If you're writing to some different direction, you can choose the compression that you're using. You can choose some options for the hash and the verifications of the hash. You can choose to basically do all of this without it asking you for confirmation for anything. So that's what the force is. You can also control how it handles the root permissions. So there are some options here if you need them. So overall, Caligula is pretty damn cool. I really like the UI. I like the ability to check the checksum so that you can verify the ISO. I like the fact that you can skip that if you don't want to do it. I really like the fact that it finds the removable drives on your system for you without having to deal with all the weird Linux naming schemes like /dev SDB or whatever it is. And you don't have to know that if you don't want to. Now, I still highly urge caution to make sure you're writing to the right drive, because once you write something to a drive, that information that was previously there is gone. But I still like that it does it kind of for you and just shows you the drives that you really need to see. So overall, Caligula is very, very good. I highly recommend trying it out if you're using something like DD, because this is, I think, a better way to use DD. It doesn't require you to go searching for the drive names. It doesn't require you to know how to use DD at all. It just allows you to go through a simple question and answer session and get to burning. So if you're burning an ISO, give Caligula a try. I'll leave the link to the Git repository in the video description below. If you have any thoughts on this, you can leave those in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on Mastodon. That link will be in the video description. You can support me on Patreon at patreon.com/thelinuxcast. There you'll find a weekly exclusive podcast that I put out for all my supporters. Basically, it's just me rambling for about 15 minutes or so on whatever topic comes to mind. So if you're interested in that, head on over there, or support me here on YouTube with the subscribe button down there below. You can also head on over to my store, which is available at shop.thelinuxcast.org. There you'll find awesome hats like the Linux Nerd hat or the I Love Vim hat, which is right here. Also, did you know that on the back of the I Love Vim hat, there's actually, it tells you how to quit Vim, just in case you ever forget. It's always on the back of your hat. So you can just check that out, shop.thelinuxcast.org. Thanks to everybody who does support me on Patreon and YouTube. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Without you, the channel just would not be anywhere near where it is right now. So thank you so very, 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 very much for your support. Just seriously, guys, I'm so appreciative. So thank you so very much. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.